call the meeting to order and ask Pastor Samuel Page for the Eufaula Church of God in Christ to give an invocation, please, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us bow our head. Our Father which art in heaven, Lord God, we thank you for this meeting tonight. Lord, we ask that you crown, Lord God, everyone with wisdom and knowledge, and Lord, let there be peace. In the name of Jesus, Father, we thank you now. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Roll call.
Mr. Powers.
Present.
Mr. Knight.
Present.
Bennett. Mr. Cobbs.
Present.
Ms. Wells.
Present.
We don't have any honors and recognition tonight.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
Yeah.
I don't have it on my agenda.
I just thought of it. Can't do it.
Should we allow the mayor to go ahead and honor? All right, go ahead, Mayor. We'll give you a break at this time.
Well, I just wanted to recognize the lake. And obviously the lake can't be here. But
Bring it in.
we all know this is one of our number one assets, Lake Eufaula. And this last weekend we had the Alabama Bass Trail here, which is a state-run function. 171 teams, which is one of the biggest tournaments that we've had in probably 20 years. The winner had 25 pounds. There were 10 bags over 20 pounds, which is excellent. And I came in 33rd with 17 pounds, which is respectable in most places. But I just wanted to comment about the lake and what the anglers were saying, and a lot of them were talking about coming back, and we all know how important it is to get people in here to spend money and stay at hotels, and they had a lot of nice things to say about our town, both on the stage and to me. I spoke to them on Friday night, so I just want to recognize that the lake is it seems to be very healthy. The fish are very healthy looking, and there's a lot more events coming our way. But it was a big success, and our lake this weekend was as good as any lake in the country. Right. So that's good positive news about our number one asset.
How many on the team? Two?
Two to the team. And they talked about the hospitality and the friendliness of the people in the city when they were. A lot of them went to different restaurants and things like that, and several of them said, "We're coming back in April. We just like fishing here." So the first time they'd ever been here. So it's just it's a big asset for us, and I'm just real proud of how it all turned out with that many people and that kind of results. So it's very important. There's last count, I think I counted 110 plus businesses that deal directly with those fishermen when they come into town. That's hotels and restaurants and your convenience stores, grocery stores, all the different businesses that deal with them. And then that creates jobs, and then that money that these businesses make turns over in the town 2 and 3 and 4 times. So it's really important to our economy, the health of that lake. And right now, it's all indications it's a very healthy fishery. I was very proud of it when I got to speak to those guys up there Friday night. So just want to give you all an update on that.
Thank you. The agenda was published online and also sent out. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight?
So moved.
Mr. Knight.
Second,
Mr. Fleury. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. We have a consent agenda consisting of 3 items. City Council minutes of March 3rd, 2014. We also have the prepaid claims docket dated February 2014 in the amount of $982,094.67. And then we have the claims docket dated March 12th, 2014 in the amount of $43,737.83. These are also posted on the on the website and sent out. What are the wishes of the council on the consent agenda?
Oh, for motion to approve the agenda.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, by Mr. Cobb. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. Thank you. You have anything else to say, Mayor?
Yes, we have an opportunity to pursue an ALDOT Rails to Trails grant that would extend the walking trail approximately a mile out under the old railroad bridge on 431 out toward the KOA campground. It's approximately a $400,000 grant, and it's a 20% match. And I need the council's approval to pursue. We'll see how we are financially if we are awarded that grant. But I'd like the council's approval to move forward with trying to obtain that grant.
Someone care to make a motion that we authorize submitting the required paperwork on the grant?
Good question.
Well, let's go ahead and make the motion second if we get it, and then we discuss it.
I approve the motion, please.
You make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Cobb. All right. Question, Mr. Cobb?
It's just the paperwork to begin to the process of getting it?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank
We do. Tim, you want to add anything to that?
Burns, Whitaker, and I, we went out there and walked it, I think it was middle of last week, and he got an idea that the railroad bed looked like it was in actually real good shape for as long as it's been abandoned, and we have one or two drainage problems we'll have to deal with, but he was real optimistic that the bed itself was in pretty good shape, that we could extend it probably a mile with the grant money that we would be allotted.
Thank you.
One other bit of information. I understand that the old KOA campground has been sold. Bob, you may know more about that. I know I met with that individual several months ago, and I understand it has closed. And, one of his concerns, or one of the things he wants to do is he wants to set up a bicycle rental there, so people can rent bicycles and ride the trail back into town. So that would enhance that if that was to happen. So there's no place right now currently to rent a bicycle to ride the trail, and you can ride the trail on a bicycle if you want to. So that would be that would hopefully be another attraction, something else that people could do. And I think the guys even talking about renting kayaks at some point in time, but just be some things that would enhance our city even more with things to do for both visitors and our citizens. So
The route of that trail will be about how long? You know?
But,
about a mile. And we own the rail bed.
Yeah.
So the rail bed's already there. And like Tim's saying, there's probably a couple of washes in it because it's been unattended for several years. But it'd be we've had a good success with our existing trail, and this will be an addition to it. So
I think that's a good idea, Mayor.
we have a motion and second. Is there any other discussion or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. You got the resolution. Thank you. Miss Camille Downing, Executive Director of Pike Child Advocacy Center. Welcome.
Thank you. Greetings, City Council members and Mayor. My name is Camille Downing. I'm from Pike Regional Child Advocacy Center. I visit here annually. I'm sure some of you may recognize me. And the reason why I'm here today is to actually tell you the services that we have provided your city or your county here in Barber County, and to actually ask for assistance. As of 2013, we have serviced 175 abused children, with about 55 coming from Bullock and Barber County. All right, the second thing is we are trying to set up a satellite location here, and we have found a location, but we also need help in setting up that location. The location is Pastor Caleb Galloway's church, Covenant Presbyterian Church in Eufaula, Alabama. They have met and agreed to let us utilize that facility when they're not there to service children from this area. Therefore, the children would not have to travel to Pike County. We'll come to them. It'll make it a whole lot easier. To me, seems like to me we should come to them. The children have already been traumatized enough. They should have to travel 60 miles to Troy, Alabama to receive the services that we offer. Now, the service that we offer, family advocates, she's on staff. She helps the family with the crisis counseling, referrals to the medical appointments, and we also provide forensic interview to those children as well. What is a forensic interview? It is when a child is either physically or sexually abused or neglected. DHR gets the call, or either law enforcement gets the call. They call us, and we call our interviewer to actually sit in a room to interview that child. It is recorded on a DVD, and attorneys or judges can actually subpoena and request that DVD in place of that child being, summoned to the courtroom. So that's what we do. It's not a fun job, but someone has to do it, and we just need help. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. You'll see blue ribbons and T-shirts being worn throughout the state of Alabama in recognition of Child Abuse Awareness Month, and we just need help. We're requesting that your council consider donating $200 as a sponsorship for our annual campaign. We are going around to Pike County, Bullock County, all the counties we serve to request assistance, and right now they are on board. They're donating, and we ask that you actually consider donating to our cause as well. We're a nonprofit. We function on grants and fundraising. We're not state, or we're not federal. If we were, I wouldn't be here right now because we'll have money in the bank, but we don't, and we're about short $2,500 short right now from doing our fundraiser. We'll be done with our fundraiser when we raise that $2,500. But we're requesting $200 from you all, so don't get off. $200, that's all we're asking for, and we ask that you consider donating to our cause.
DHR, when you report back, who do you report to?
Just me and DHR.
DHR?
We work hand in hand, and sometimes the DA office as well. But DHR calls us, and that's how we coordinate with the files and the interviews. When we schedule interviews, it's with DHR.
And so you're receiving right now from the Pike, Coffee, Barber, and Bullock counties, you are receiving some support funds?
Just for the sponsorship, but it's nothing on a monthly basis. We're just asking on an annual basis.
On an annual basis. And your basic operating funding is from what sources?
From grants and fundraisers.
Grant and fundraisers, okay.
And as you know, some have been cut drastically. This last cut was about 13% for our organization, so we have to cut that.
So, and I'm just stating this, make sure we understand.
Right, that's fine.
You said that in 2013, there's 55 abused children in Bullock and Barber, was it?
That we
you served.
Correct.
There might have been more, but those are the ones that you were given notice, and then you met. Where would they have to go right now if we didn't have a facility here? How is that addressed?
They come to us. They come to the office in Pike County.
So they have to go all the way to Pike County?
Yes, and DHR, their time constraints and the funding, they needed our help, so we decided to try to find a location. We've been looking for a location for about 3 years, and luckily this pastor opened up his arms for us to come into his facility.
And DHR will find out about it. How would they typically, do they get word on abused child, either schools or through
schools, daycare,
police department, daycare?
Individuals that may witness it and do a report.
Okay. Any other questions, John?
When is the date or deadline that you expect the council? I know they're gonna do it, so I'm just asking.
You know they're gonna do it? I would like for them to mail it by April 1st if possible. But like I said, April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, so if you get it to us on April 30th, that'll be fine as well.
Okay, you better stick with April 1st.
And I forgot one other aspect. We also go to some of the schools. We went into your Head Start. to actually utilize the Good Touch but Bad Touch program, and that's teaching children what's appropriate, what's inappropriate, and we do get disclosures from abused children from going to the schools as well. And all of our services are free. We do not charge any amount whatsoever. Everything is free.
Have you briefed we have an organization in our area called the Christ Child Circle, and in fact, they have a puppet show in different areas like this. It'd be good to link the two of y'all up because they also have some resources that they focus on child welfare, and so we'll make sure we get you their contact off of that. I think that'd be good for y'all to work together off of that. Any other questions of the council?
No more questions.
No more.
Thank you. It's a very good presentation.
That's
Thank you
right.
so much.
Appreciate what you're doing for the children. Ordinances and resolutions. So we have ordinance 2014-2. This is, we tabled this the last session, and we had a work session on this last Friday. This and another pending proposal from the Planning Commission. Just as a reminder, for Ms. Fleury, who was not at the work session, we had some discussion off this and had some recommendations for the Planning Commission to consider making some modifications. So what I'd like to hear is a motion from the member of the council that we refer this back to the Planning Commission for them to look at our discussion and see if they want to change their recommendation on this, and then they can go through their process and get it back to us. It'll delay it a little more, but that's, in terms of procedure, that's how it should be done.
And don't the planning commission meet tomorrow?
Yeah, so do I have a motion
I
to
have
that?
I'll motion.
Motion that we refer this back to the Planning Commission for review and updating. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Fleury. Any further questions or discussion? Need to say anything off of that? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries unanimously. Resolution 14-2014. This is really cleaning up something that we've talked about. Remember, we had an offer from Hyundai Polytech here in Eufaula to provide $500 to the police department and $500 to the fire and rescue squad. And we said that was all right, but we need to do a resolution to document that for the record. I have a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve resolution 14-2014.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. We have resolution 15-20-14 authorizing the mayor to execute loan documents relating to the speculative building project. You all know that we have a spec building that we've had for a number of years, and that financing has been deferred for several years, being paid by the power company, and that time frame that had to roll over to the city is actually, we had an extension on it. Isn't that correct, Mayor?
Yeah.
And so now that extension has ended, so it's now our obligation to pick that up, and you see the resolution 15-24-14. The amount is $510,083. Anything you want to add to that, Mayor?
That's the total.
Total amount,
Total
correct.
amount, yeah, we're rolling in
The balance,
power, which is
correct.
up on the balance.
So we need to approve that financing.
I have a motion to adopt resolution 15-2014.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. And we had that, we knew that was coming, that was part of the budget process. So that was one thing that we did know was coming and we had in the budget. Any questions or discussion?
And you said that was 510.
$10,083 total right there.
Okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise? Okay. I've got one council action and discussion to bring up. And this, what we missed one? I'm sorry, I missed one. Let's do this. Resolution 16-2014, Court Online Payment Processing Service. This authorizes them to move to online payment.
I have a motion to adopt resolution 16-2014.
Second.
Ms. Fleury, second. Any questions or discussions on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Under council action and discussion, the city attorney mentioned to me that we've had requests for documents pertaining to personnel records and some files. And some of these items we can turn over. Some when there's pending claims or investigations, then there's an attorney general makes a statement relating to that that's not completely clear, and I'm going to ask city attorney Ms. Potoff to clarify that for us and tell us how we should address that.
Okay, we've had a public record request by Rachel Smith asking for the personnel files of Chief Connor, the training files of Chief Connor, and then standard operating procedures of the police department. We've had an objection to producing some of this information since there is a pending grand jury investigation. And so what my recommendation based on that is to obtain an Attorney General's opinion, asking whether or not this information should be withheld pending the grand jury investigation until that investigation is concluded. And in addition, because some of the material there's clear Attorney General opinions about whether or not personnel files are public record. But there is not a clear Attorney General's opinion on standard operating procedures of the police department. And so in addition to asking about withholding the information pending a grand jury investigation, I would ask that the council consider asking for an Attorney General's opinion regarding standard operating procedures and whether or not they are considered open records, or are they exempt under the exemption that applies to procedures relating to or having an impact on the security and safety. And so we could get basically a clear guideline to follow in the future as to whether or not whenever public records requests are requested for standard operating procedures of the police department.
Does everyone understand what she's asking there? So what we'd have to do is approve, make a motion in a second that would authorize the city attorney to request an Attorney General's opinion regarding releasing that information.
We'll make a motion that we will get the Attorney General's opinion to release that information.
Is there a second? Second, Mr. Knight. Any additional questions? The rationale, to state again, is that those standard operating procedures could be interpreted as a detriment if they're released in the terms of operating with the police department, some of their activities, because there are some activities the police department does that works with drug enforcement and other undercover areas. So that's where it's not clear. We want to be clear on that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. Mr. Bennett's not here. You want to make any comments on the finance?
The revenues are pretty well coming in as we expected, and the departments are all within budget, and it looks like we're to the good of about $200,000 compared to last year.
And that's due to the tax increase?
Right, correct.
Okay. And that's basically due to the first half cent sales
First half,
tax.
right. Second one to come into play this month.
Okay. Education, library, zoning, and chamber, no report. Parks, recreation, and airport.
We start out.
I stand corrected, Mr. Knight. You gave me a look like my parents gave me.
Don't tell them that.
Under education, we've had a school board a member, Louise Connor's term is up for renewal and reconsideration. She's been contacted, and that term is April 1st.
April 1st.
And she has requested to be reappointed to the school board.
Yes.
All the reports I've received from the school board members and staff, her participation has been 100% and above and beyond, and she's been a welcome member on that, providing good information and overview. What are the wishes of the council?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer a motion that we reappoint Ms. Louise Connor back to the school board.
We have a motion by Mr. Knight to reappoint her. Second by Mr. Cobb. Are there any other nominees? Hearing none. All those in favor of reappointing Ms. Cotter signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Knight. Parks and Recreation.
We start baseball season. Probably got about 150 team, girls and boys, and everybody registered. We probably open date probably sometime April. Keith's not here. Keith's not here.
Street Sanitation Cemetery.
Got the activity report in your packet. Tim, you have anything to add? Sherry?
We're just getting ready to try to prepare for this pilgrimage, and I've discussed the cemetery, and for any concerned citizens, we start working on that next week.
Thank you.
And I want to emphasize it's important, and the community generally does this, but it's important that everybody not only cleans up their own space, but anything they can do. If some of us that go out and walk carry a little trash bag and pick up as we go along. We have a great need for that with the winds and everything else that have come up, and then there's been some trimmings and mowing and help some debris scatter about. So anything we can do to assist in making that happen will be, I know, appreciated, and always helps when we have the visitors come in and they say, not only are we hospitable, but we look good too, right, Mayor?
I actually picked up a beer can the other day and brought it into City Hall and got some funny looks, but it was laying outside on the street. So
Didn't fall out of your truck or anything like that.
One of my friends.
We try to keep up. We try to entertain our fishermen when they come to town and stuff like that. That was uncalled for. I take that back, man. I'm sorry.
I think he need public apology.
You got a public apology, Mr. Mayor. I know you're much better.
I picked up some cigarette wrappers.
Police, fire, and personnel, Mr. Knight.
Well, in your package, you have a police report, and you have your fireman report, as well as your animal control, your animal shelter report. I'd like for you to take time and read this, because I think they are doing a real good job, and they are taking time out to record all of this for your reading, so at least you could take time out to just observe what's going on and think of it. In the police department, Chief, I would just like to say I got a few calls this morning about some good work that the police chief is doing. You know, you never hear the good things, you always hear the bad rumors and things, but I must tell you that we got a good report on you this morning, you in the police department, and I would just like to publicly say thank you. That's it.
Anyone have anything else to come before the council? I have a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion to adjourn.
Second, Mr. Cobb, all those in favor, stand adjourned.